Well, today we're learning all about expungement procedures, and we're going to learn that from Lima attorney Jerry Pitts. Jerry, this is round two.
Round two.
Round two of expungement.
Well, yeah, we're going to be a little more specific about certain things. And as I said before, we need to remember that for every rule that's in the law, there's probably 20, 30 exceptions. So keep that in mind. But what people need to understand is when you're trying to get an expungement, you need to, first of all, be very aware of your own record. Because lots of times people say, well, I forgot about that. Well, the reason I'm saying that is because you're going to go through 9 different agencies even before you become eligible to get into the court. For example, you got to go through the police department. They're going to check you out. You got to go through that prosecutor's office. They're going to check you out. Sheriff's office. Then the courts, both courts, going to check you out. Then on top of that, you got to go through the criminal identification in Toledo, Bowling Green now. You got to go through the adult parole board. You got to go through the Attorney General's office for the state of Ohio. Then you got to go through the Criminal Justice Investigation Services. You got to get through all of them before you can even get into the court.
Wow.
So they're going to all check you out. So if you done something and you're calling yourself forgot about it, somebody's going to catch it. So there you are. But I tell people, normally the things that are really not expungible, which you should already identify, any criminal offense, such as a felony offense, that is not probationable, that is you automatically got to go to prison, then you're not likely going to get that expunged. If it deals with sex or anything of that nature, you're probably not. And what really gets me, any DUIs or some traffic situations, they are not, because they're going to linger and be on your record for forever. So people should be unaware of those things. So those are some of the things that you can't get expunged. Now, I'm saying you should always go to a licensed professional, have them investigate first of all, but then after that, you may still going to need to invest your money and go through all these 9 agencies. Because if you're not going to do that, then it doesn't make sense to even try.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to get through them to get to the court for the judge to ultimately make the decision it's expungible or it's not.
Yeah, this seems to be like a lot of loops and hoops to get just to the judge, right?
Yes.
So you got to go through a lot of different agencies first.
Yes. I mean, it's got to, after you do the application. So if the attorney tells you, well, before I get involved in this is what it's going to cost, just the investigation of it, just to see if you're even eligible from that attorney's perspective.
Right.
And then after that, then the court is going to deal with all these agencies to make sure that you are.
Right.
And then it's going to be a hearing. I had one time I had a person who had a matter pending and didn't let us know. And then all of a sudden, we're getting ready to go to court. Here comes this pending matter. And I had to get that taken care of before he was even eligible.
Yeah, so in other words, you got to be honest. You also go through a professional, because there are so many procedures. You're probably not going to figure it out on your own.
Correct.
So you have to go through probably a lawyer, and then they can advise you what's best and whatnot. So yeah, all right.
Yeah, yeah. The attorney gonna on the expungements, even though they say it's not a big deal, it is.
Yeah.
And with all these jumps and hoops, and like I said, for every rule they got down here is 20 exceptions.
All right. Well, Jerry, thank you for coming in today and explaining more about what that is and the process to get expunged. So thank you again.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, don't go away, because medical news is coming up next.